Not too many faces today, huh? Afternoon, morning. How's everybody doing? So quiet in here. I'm looking for a little energy. I don't have anything to say. I'm going to jump in. The only thing that came to mind of me this morning that I did want to say was I was really proud of the unit in the very first series of the game last week. That's not easy. You know, they recovered the onside kick, and usually that can go a little bit and it's 3 points or whatever, but to get them to punt the football I thought was really good. We've got some other things we need to clean up, but I thought that was, sometimes that goes unnoticed because it happens so early in the game. But all right, having said that, I'll open it up.
Coach, Colin Saunders really seems to be kind of coming into his own.
Yeah.
Where does he fit into the mix? Are you trying to get him more reps?
Yeah, Joe and I talked about that. I think his play tick went up from, I know in this last game, and we had talked about that during the preparation week last week. Yeah, he certainly deserves that. You're right. He's played well. He stands out. You know, of course, anytime you get a sack, everybody starts to notice. But he's done a lot of other good things in the run game that have really helped us. But I like the way Colin has progressed and played this year.
You had 5 sacks. 3 of them came from the defensive line. I mean, do you feel like you're getting more from just the 4 and maybe don't have to be quite as
I mean, I've felt that all along. I don't count the sacks as much as I count the pressures, and I tell you which just as important. And I just read somewhere where George has a bunch of them is those pass breakups are huge. There was one, the very first third down in this past game. I think it was the first one, third down. You know, they ran a route that kind of made it challenging on the coverage that we were in. It was kind of wide open, and if George doesn't knock it down, it's at least the first down. And then it might have been on that first drive, the one I was just talking about. So that was huge. So at any rate, yeah, am I happy that we're getting sacks? Yeah, because it's negative play. But as long as we continue to pressure the quarterback, hit them, get pass breakups, you know, make sure that they're incompletions and not completions, I'm good with that.
Coach, you learned about Jalen and not having Trent, the same type of thing, these 2 games without Frank. What do you think you learned about some of the other defensive in the sense of with Trent being out, you learned what Watson can do. What did you learn about the defensive lineman that kind of filled in for Frank?
I got you. Yeah. Well, listen, Malik. I thought Malik had a couple of good plays. He doesn't get as many reps because Joe's rotating. You've got Carlos and you've got George and Mike Dana, who are always in there. And Mike Dana had a solid game. But in answer to your question about, we've learned a lot about Malik that we wouldn't maybe not have known had he been inactive in every game. But I thought he played the run real well. You know, he's not in there in as many third down passing situations, but I like the way Malik has progressed.
And how eager are you to have Frank back?
Yeah, I mean, we like Frank's juice, and, you know, he gives us something off of the edge. And I thought he was kind of finding a groove, you know, before he hit the suspension, and I just hope he can get back into that. You know, sometimes you got to knock a little bit of rust off, but hopefully there won't be a lot of rust to knock off.
This is a couple of really strong performances back-to-back against some good run-heavy teams. What have you kind of learned about your run defense?
Yeah, I do know this. I mean, I was really impressed with the Tennessee. I know, I think it was the second quarter, got a little bit shaky, but I talked about that this week. When our mindset is right, you know, and as a unit collectively, we say we're going to stop this, we're not going to let them do that, and we've got some good leaders in that regard. I think we can do that. This week it might be a little bit different challenge. Because they got all kinds of threats and wouldn't you know, another really good quarterback. But yeah, happy with the way we've played the run.
Coach, talking about that quarterback, in their first couple of seasons, a lot of people would really compare Patrick Mahomes to Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
He hasn't obviously had those pretty post-game runs like Mahomes has, but that's a guy you see, you don't work with every day in practice, but your defense sees every day.
Yeah.
Do you see the comparison between them in terms of passing, or?
You know, I'll be honest with you. I've never thought of it in that terms.
Really?
I really haven't. I mean, I just see every quarterback differently, and I know we go against a good one all year long in OTAs and training camp and all that. I just really haven't done that, you know, for me to sit here and speculate. We're just defending number 10. Thank God not number 15, right? And I think he's pretty good. I mean, look he can do anything you're going to ask a quarterback to do. I think he's managing the game real well in our game, because you go back and look at him. He got protections right. He gets the ball out really quick. He's a big guy. He's hard to bring down. It was last year, the years run together here, but I know Nick, you know, had him down the goal line, and you couldn't even get the guy down. He gets it off because, it was last year, right? So I got a lot of respect for him.
This group that you're facing, they had a reputation of going for a lot of fourth downs and things like that. You
Yeah.
guys have faced a lot of fourth downs. And Jacksonville didn't really test you that way last week. Do you know week to week? Because when you guys faced the Chargers earlier this year, it didn't seem like they were
Yeah.
that mode again. Or what have
Yeah,
they been
maybe
like
not
the
as
rest
many
of
as
the
they
year?
had done the
Yeah.
year before, right? I'll tell you what, we always plan for them for a couple different reasons. It's the kind of the wave of the league, and certainly in certain situations. And I think, I mean, if you're on the other sideline, I know some of our thinking would be keep number 15 off the field as much as you can, right? And one way to do it is to kind of earn another first down. So we plan on them. We've got 2 scheduled in practice today that I just talked to the guys about. So, and we talk about fourth down on Tuesday of every week. It's one of the first things we do.
Couple more.
What challenges, Mike Williams, it seems like you guys had good coverage on him, but he
Yeah.
goes up and wrestles the ball away. Is there
Yeah, he's
a
a
different approach to take?
put 3 guys on him instead of 2. You know, we talked about it this morning. Dave and I did. There's a couple different ways to double a guy, and yet you can't double him on every play. And at some point, you know, some guys got to battle, and just got to find. He's such a strong. You know, he's so strong with his hands, and even when you're in great position, it was early in the game here last time we played him. Jalen was in really good shape. And, you know, Mike kind of outmuscled a little bit. But maybe, you know, haven't seen him. You know, our young guys haven't seen him already once. Maybe that'll help. Trent hasn't seen him yet, so we'll see how that goes. But our guys will fight. I know that. And we're playing against a really good receiver, so hopefully we can win more than we lose on that.
You mentioned Trent. He's been back a couple weeks now. How impressed are you
Yeah.
seeing from him after he's missed so much time?
Yeah, I tell you, he's really sharp. Really sharp. And I remember talking to Coach Lake before the draft about a couple plays he had, and Trent was one of them. And he mentioned that. He didn't skip a beat in terms of the mental part of it. It took a little bit to get going, you know. You know, he had the one play that they got him on. I think he'll tell you that he probably looked for the ball too early, but he was stride for stride with him, and he had a couple other key pass breakups that were huge in the game. So I was really happy the way he played. I'm glad we got him.
Really unique challenge. Is there a key to Eckler and defending him? You got to be
Yeah.
worried about over pursuing and so on. And so
Yeah, I mean, it's as much as his run part of it is as his throwing, right? I mean, he's become obviously a favorite of, well, was always a favorite of the quarterbacks, but when they had a couple of guys down, you know, his tick as far as targets went way up. A guy that we're concerned about, a guy we've talked about, we'll work third down today, and number 30 is going to be first thing I put up on yesterday morning was everybody needs to know where 30 is, linemen included. That's how much we respect and know how good he is.
Last one, anybody? Great.
Oh, there we go. Thank you.